Now, I want you to listen to me very carefully. I want you to understand that you're not weak, you're not a failure, you're not stupid, you're not good for nothing. You are none of the things that people have told you which have affected your life so much. Why am I saying this? Recently I was reading from the book of Matthew chapter 6 when Jesus was having a conversation with his disciples, and he posed them this question. He said, "Who do people say I am?" Now, this was a very intriguing question to these people, but of course, because they were overhearing what people are talking about Jesus, they said, "Some people say you are Elijah, others say you are Moses, others say you are John the Baptist, and then others say that you're one of those prophets." Now, Jesus, hearing these answers that they were giving him, he simply now asked them, "Who do you people say I am? You are my friends, you are my close people, you are my disciples, we've been working together for a while. Who do you say I am?" They also started giving him all sorts of answers, but no answer was correct except when Simon Peter stood up and said, "You are Christ, the Son of God." And Jesus exclaimed, said, "Hey, how did you know? This is amazing." And then he made a statement which I want us to discuss today. He said, "Flesh and blood could not have revealed this to you." You see, your problem is that you have believed everything that people say you are. We know what people say we are. Let me ask you a question. If a sheep was to go to a bunch of hyenas and then ask these hyenas, "Guys, who do you people say I am? Can you please tell me my identity? Can you please tell me who I am?" What do you think these hyenas are going to say? The hyenas will look at the sheep straight in the face and say, "You are supper, you are lunch." The problem is not that you are weak. The problem is not that you are a failure. The problem is that you've been misinformed by people who have no clue how to define you. Hyenas have told you that you are supper. Hyenas have told you that you are lunch. Wolves have told you that you are breakfast. And for all these years, you've been believing them because that's how we were programmed to be. From childhood, we were told so many stories. "Oh, you are a girl. Girls are not supposed to do this kind of jobs. You are a black man. Black man cannot do this. Black men are limited. Black men have no resources. Black men are poor. You are a poor man. Remember, you are uneducated. There are so many things you cannot do." So we've been conditioned and programmed. We've been given a false identity by people who have no clue who we are. So we know the wrong information that you are given by people, but have you ever taken time to sit down and ask yourself this question: who am I? We know what Twitter says, we know what Facebook says, we know what Instagram says, we know what TikTok says, but what do you say? We also know what your friends say. Actually, I'm so sorry to break your heart that even your parents may not know exactly who you are. How exactly do you find who you are? Jesus said that flesh and blood cannot reveal your true identity. Your true identity can only be revealed to you the moment you connect to the divine source. You see, guys, if someone wants to describe Tesla, maybe you can take a catalog of that car and try to describe it. But you see, if you go to Elon Musk, the guy who made Tesla, the kind of definition, the kind of description he will give you may differ very much from what any other person will give you. So stop listening to what you heard from people. Stop listening to the kind of misinformation you got from young age. Stop listening to what you've been fed by TV and news. You need to start asking God exactly who you are. Flesh and blood cannot reveal who you are. You need to take some time. You need to take some steps back and start asking yourself and start engaging yourself, because you are failing because they told you you are a failure. You are weak because they told you you are a weak. You are a thug because they told you you are a thug. None of these things came from your own thoughts. None of these things came from the divine maker who made you. You know, it's so heartbreaking to say this, but some of these young boys and girls that you see committing crime and doing crazy stuff on the streets, it's not because they really want to commit crime, but it's because they have been programmed, they have been conditioned to believe that they are thugs. They have been conditioned to believe that they are prostitutes, that they can only put on some very short miniskirts and start parading themselves as if they are some piece of meat which is supposed to be harvested from a butchery. It is time to deconstruct the lie. Reject the misinformation that you are given by people. You're not John the Baptist. You're not Moses. You're not one of the prophets. You're not one of the prophets. You're not Elijah. Who are you? Because when God created you, He created you to be somebody. How come you are nobody? Because when God was creating you, it was not a mistake. It was not haphazard. He was creating someone. How come you are nobody today? So, we know who people say you are. We know who hyenas say you are. We know who wolves say you are. But what does the divine, what does heaven say you are? I will leave you with that question today, but I want to encourage you. Stop thinking like a failure. Stop thinking like a loser. Stop thinking like a hopeless person. Stop thinking that there's no future for you, because the one who made you, He made you for a purpose. And it's high time we stepped in this purpose and stop listening to the lies which are coming from all directions. Thank you so much for listening to me today. Until we meet again in the next episode of Winning Mind program, may God bless you. Have a good one.